Welcome back to the Free Gems Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You are now tuned in for episode 168.
168,
we got
Free Gems.
Single, fresh across the stage with the motherfucking Ray Charles glasses on. Probably shouldn't have cursed that early in the episode, but that's all right. We here. Listen, Jesus here. We fresh off the Canelo Alvarez Crawford fight.
Yeah,
we gotta get into it.
yeah.
Never again am I gonna be outside at 3 in the morning at a bar. That was insane.
Yeah.
But we made it here today just for y'all. We here live, you know what I'm saying, on this beautiful day. And it's also Football Sunday, so Merry Christmas to all.
Yes,
you know
yes, Merry weekly Christmas, man.
Yeah, shout out to FanDuel because we're running it
Running
up
up.
right
Yo,
now.
I hope everybody lay hits today. Everybody lay going hit.
Everybody go ahead, do your thing, go get your parlays ready. Listen, Terrence Crawford made me some money yesterday. You know what I'm saying? He was plus money, plus 144 when I took him. So you know what I mean? It's been a great eventful week. Well, actually, it's been a crazy ass week. I was gonna say weekend, and then I stopped myself at week, and I was like, wait a minute, somebody got killed this week. We're gonna get into all of that though.
Oh yeah, we definitely
I need to hear your thoughts on this Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight. Please, we need a hot take.
Listen. So going into this fight, Alvarez was the bigger guy. Everyone was saying Alvarez was the bigger guy, more powerful guy.
Yep. Vegas told you Alvarez is supposed to win. Vegas had him at damn near double the odds. He was like minus 180.
Crawford was the one who jumped up weight classes in order to fight.
2 weight classes.
The thing about Crawford is, if you look at his whole career, even when certain fights were up in the air, you can look at the Errol Spence fight, was supposed to be a good fight. Mm-hmm. He has done nothing but dominate. Yeah. Completely. Yo, that was a masterclass he put on last night.
Yeah.
They were saying he destroyed all the narratives. Oh, I don't know how he's going to be jumping up these 2 weight classes. Yeah, he can dance around them, but I don't know if he can really fight on the inside like
they don't know
with
if
Canelo.
He can get toe-to-toe with him and
that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you
step
go
in that little square and get busy.
It was listen
blow for blow.
Like last night was literally poetic. It was no different than a shooter who was hot.
Yeah,
he was hot.
Yeah,
he put on a clinic.
No, he did. He
got comfortable in that ring
against one of the greatest boxers of all
time.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
No way. Yeah, you can't. There's no way we can discredit Canelo.
We're not. We're not.
I want to make sure we say shout out to Canelo. Shout out to all the Mexicans.
Big shout out to Canelo. Yeah, what?
Those is real warriors. I ain't gonna lie. They pride is dope. Like, and not to cut you off, but just to see the way Canelo handled it at the end, and he ends with the Viva Mexico.
Listen,
them motherfuckers cheered like he won.
He is a class act. Yeah. Like he's always been such of a top tier class act type of person. Very professional, and he has never been a slouch in his whole career.
Nope, never ducked no fades.
Never ducked no fades.
Never ducked no fades. That's
never
important to put in there.
And I feel like Crawford has always had the tenacity, no matter who it is. He's never ducked a fade. He's always stepped up to the plate, whatever he had to do, and he just went up there and I was in awe. I'm like, yo, whatever Canelo was throwing, he had a counter. Whatever.
Yeah. That's what it was.
Whatever.
You could see it too. Like Canelo got frustrated by like that 8th round. He's like, bro, I can't do nothing. Once he realized he was losing on a scorecard by like round 9, he's like, yo, I got 4 rounds left. Like this, I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? And you heard his corner by like round 9. They're like, you got to put him down. They're like, yo, hit him hard, put him down. Like that's it, because it was a clear by like round 9. I think Crawford only lost 1 round, and that was like kind of arguable. At that point, it was like 7-1 already. It was like everybody let him know like, yo, Melo, this it. Like it ain't gonna be you can't let this go all the way, because it was incredible to watch. Because the first 3 rounds, when when boxers are feeling each other out, they're trying to see what this punch feels like. Like, can I get in on them? Like, they're feeling each other out. And I was nervous because I was watching it in the bar, so I couldn't hear the commentators. But I'm just going off my eye test. My eye test felt like Crawford got hit a couple times, and he was like, "Oh, that's what that feel like."
Yeah.
And he learned to respect the power. He's like, "Oh, okay, I don't want to get hit by that no more." And then he got on his bullshit, and it was dope as hell to watch, bro. Because nobody was giving Crawford a chance. Honestly, I feel like nobody besides only hood motherfuckers was giving Crawford a chance. Because the hood was like, "There's no way this black dude is losing to this motherfucking freckle-faced, red-headed Mexican guy that I can barely tell if he's Mexican for real until he talks." So it's like the whole hood was like, "We're going Crawford." Ain't gonna lie, I had to go Crawford. You feel me? My heart told me Canelo was gonna win.
I personally had Crawford.
Yeah, my heart. I never watched enough of Crawford because you know what? One thing I want to say too is both these fighters are pure fighters in the sense of in this day and age we had like the Adrian Broners and we had Mayweather and we had a lot of like theatrics. Ryan Garcia, Tank doesn't necessarily do theatrics, but he's always in the headlines doing something. He's always beating up some baby mother or something. You know what I'm saying? Roughhousing his girlfriend out the fucking club. So it's a lot that be going on. These two guys. Like you said, professionals.
Straight professionals.
Professionals,
straight action.
Pure boxers, super talents, all-time greats in their respective weight class and the whole overall boxing. But to see them reach the heights they reached without any of those gimmicks and to see this prize fight happen, it was a beautiful thing to watch. Beautiful thing to watch.
So my question is, do you think that Terrence Bud Crawford is in the GOAT conversation?
I think he's in the GOAT conversation for this era. I couldn't put him in. I couldn't put him in the GOAT conversation. Not with 42 fights. Yeah, he's 42-0, but I'm not giving him. And it's not even just that though. Like the era of who he fought. Because I hate when people be like, "But who did that guy fight?" I only beat up whoever you put in front of me.
But so you think that Mayweather's in it when he only fought 7-8 more fights than him?
Well, it's not even, because that's not the number though.
But you started by saying it's the number.
But also. Like I said, I was never too much of a Crawford fan, not because I didn't like the guy. I never really paid attention to his career. I think a lot of it had to do with he didn't have gimmicks. He didn't, whatever it was. The last 20 years of boxing have been very scarce. It's been a clear topic that especially the youth. They detached from boxing. It wasn't what it used to be in the 60s, 70s, 80s. You know what I'm saying? Prior to that.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I remember Mayweather, and I watched Mayweather fight De La Hoya. I watched him fight Cotto, Ricky Hatton, Marcus, what was his name?
I know you're talking about.
Marcus Maidana twice. I watched him fight Canelo when people really thought Canelo was going to do it to him. Canelo was only like 21.
Yeah,
he was so
young.
much bigger and stronger than Mayweather. And Mayweather was like 36, 37 or something. And people really thought that was going to happen. And Mayweather whooped his ass. What he did to Sugar Shane Mosley, what I watched him, like he fought all-time greats. Don't play like Mayweather fought them greats. Pacquiao, rather y'all say it was late or not. You know what I'm saying? The way he did Pacquiao was bad. The way he did these fighting Zab Judah, there's names up there, bro. Like I'm not gonna say Mayweather didn't fight nothing, but like you say, he only fought 9 more fights. But I think the names Mayweather has a name, but I'm not gonna give it to Mayweather possibly because there's an argument between you got Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson. If you want to give it to Mayweather, you can. But there's other names up there that I feel like Terrence can't pass yet.
Okay, listen. I think I also haven't watched a ton of his fights, but I just think that his record and how I've seen him win past few fights has just been the masterclass. Even when Vegas is like 50-50 flip a coin. Mm-hmm. Even when he was the underdog, he's just put on a complete masterclass. And boxing circles around guys who are uberly talented, some of the greatest in the world. Yeah, just boxing circles around guys. I think between that, the way he's been a champion at how many ever different weight classes, the way he runs towards the fire, he ducks no smoke. Yeah, that he's not all technical about it. Well, I'll fight you if you do this, if you do that. No.
And he's a switch hitter. He'll fight you however he wants. He went southpaw for the majority.
He was southpaw for the most.
Not majority, the whole fight. And I've noticed that I'm like, that's got to be a tactic, obviously, because I always heard that southpaw is really hard to fight against if you're right-handed, which is majority of the world. So you know what I'm saying? It was like, this motherfucker right here is different kind of skilled and crafty.
I think he's absolutely in the conversation. And when we talk about the greatest boxers of all time, it's always going to be a conversation because. It's pound for pound, of course. Obviously, I think that his resume speaks for himself, and it's hard to not put him in that conversation.
So you're right, because even if you take away, like, okay, I might not know all the names, but if you watch the highlights and you watch these last couple fights, it's like the way he won. It was Mayweather-esque as far as like it was dominant.
It wasn't even close. Yeah, it wasn't even close when it was supposed to be close. That's what I'm saying.
The entire fight, if you kept up with the scorecard round for round, you saw it was like, okay, Crawford won. You know what I'm saying? I knew my money was secured by like the 9th round unless Nello knocked him out.
By the 9th round, by the 5th, 6th, 7th round, I'm like, this is a masterclass. I'm like, He got to by the 6th round, I said he got to knock him out. If Canelo don't knock him out, it's over.
Yeah.
The
I
way
had
he
money
was,
on it not going the distance. I put a little $50 on it not going the distance.
and,
just
and you can see, like, you're right. Canelo was getting frustrated.
Yeah,
and I feel like
he was arms down. He's like, "Fuck, come here."
and by that time of the fight, Crawford was smiling the entire time.
Yep.
I feel like he took some of those punches on the chin, and he was like, okay, I can do this. Yeah. Okay, that's what you got. I got something for that.
Once I seen Crawford like just sizing him up, like putting the distance on him, doing that little glove tap.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's too confident.
That's why
he not worried about shit you about to throw. He's he got it.
Technical. That's
tap your mic.
You're tired, you're hurting. You know what I'm saying? He got you. Once you see a boxer doing this shit right here, where he's just playing with you, tapping you up like this, he's about to fuck you up. He know he got you. It's bad. It's like a predator watching his prey. He's like, oh yeah, I'm about to. It's like a snake chasing a fucking a rat. You see it. He got you. And it was just like after that, it was just pure like, okay, let's just finish this out. You know?
And look on the outside looking in, people that don't really watch boxing. They don't really understand the technical aspect of it. They just see two people in the ring fighting. But technically sound, man, he like.
There's beauty in boxing. It's like watching poetry.
It is a poet, yes, correct.
Slow that shit down in slow motion, and you see
it's literally poetry. Yes,
the defense and the way that to the naked eye, it looks like these people are beating the shit out of each other. But when you slow it down,
glove, heave.
You see the defense, and you're like, what the fuck? The head movements and I'll catch your punch, like literally catch this in between. Yo, bro, it's beautiful to watch. Like, and you'll notice, like, wow, there's a lot more to it than just just fight it, than just putting somebody to sleep. It's not that.
And that's why I like sports in general. Sports in general, especially at the highest level, is literally poetry in motion. Like I said, it's no different than a shooter who's hot. There's nothing that defense could have done.
Yeah, nothing.
There's nothing. I don't think there's much Canelo could have done last night.
Nah.
And Canelo is one of the greatest fighters in the world.
Yeah, and he hit hard. That boy hit hard.
That's what I'm saying. So you fought a man who jumped up 2 weight classes to even just meet you, and he put on a show. You would have never thought. You would have never thought he was the one that jumped up weight. Yeah, is what I'm saying. No, so sure. If you ask me, I think he's safely in the conversation. There's obviously it's always going to be a conversation. Look at this person's record. Look who this person fought. Look at Ali. He was suspended during his. There's always a give or take back and forth when it comes to the greatest pound for pound. But I think that he's definitely cemented himself in the conversation.
Nah, and I really want to make sure is we shout out the homie Turkey. I forget his last name, but the Arabic homie that's been the one funding all of this stuff. Like, yo, yes. Turkey is like, he has brought back the sport of boxing damn near single-handedly just by funding all this stuff, bro. Turkey's the one that's handing out these bags. Like, yo, here, let's get Canelo to fight Crawford. How we gonna do that? Well, shit, Turkey got $200 million for the purse. What's up? Like, we not worried about
was that the Saudi?
The one Saudi you see next to Dana White and Mr. Beast, him. And then at the end of the fight, you're like, the whole time you're probably like, who's that? And then when the fight's over, he's in the middle of the ring walking around, like, yo, good looking, yo, go get your check. But it's shout out to him because they're pretty much they're like on crash out mode. They're like on some startup company. We don't care if we don't make a profit. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm stupid rich. What's $200 million to me? You know what I'm saying? I got Exxon Mobil money, whatever the fuck he got going on. But I'm looking at it. They said the Canelo Alvarez reportedly made around $150 million, and Crawford was to get $50 million. And yeah, they said this is one of those life-changing. It's one of those life-changing bags. You go get you a $50 million or $150 in 36 minutes. It's super tough. Super tough. But the homie Turkey, man, he been making a lot of these UFC fights happen. A lot of like I said, a lot of these big prize fights that we see and these celebrity boxing matches is all through him. And he's just like, yo, I don't care about making money. I just want to see the best fight the best. And if it's going, because a lot of boxers, they avoid fighting the best because everybody wants to stay undefeated now. Floyd Mayweather made that a thing where it's like, if you take a L, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, we saw Adrian Broner's career fall off the cliff because he took one L and it was over. Yeah, and everybody was like, "Man, we don't even care about this shit."
And then he kept losing, and then it became cringy.
And a lot of people say, Tank Davis been ducking a lot of work his whole career because he's trying to stay with that NO. You know what I'm saying? They saying David Haney and Shakur Stevenson. They're saying that this generation right here is kind of ducking because nobody wants to lose. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to lose, so nobody wants to fight each other. But it's like, yo,
and
Shakur and Tank, get the fuck in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's make that happen now,
that
please.
Needs to happen.
Like,
I agree.
Like, let's stop bullshit. Devin Haney versus Tank. Let's make that happen.
But now they got Tank fighting Jake Paul.
Yeah. But I'm not mad at that. I'm telling you, that's gonna be fun.
It's
gonna be fun to watch.
But see what I'm talking about. But we're talking about like boxers within the same realm and weight class who the best over here, best over there fighting, and he's jumping up to fight a celebrity boxer. No disrespect.
Yeah.
Because Jake over the past few years has earned his stripes, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't think it's good for the sport of boxing.
Yeah, but what I do know is Netflix is good for the sport of boxing, and I was trying to break down how the numbers make sense in my head because I mean, like, you got to think of before pay-per-view, it was $100 a buy, basically like $80 a buy, and you get 2 million people to purchase this shit. Well, we just made 200 million off fucking pay-per-view, and the way Netflix works is like, forget 2 million people, how about 200 million people are watching, and those eyes bring value to it, and they had commercials. I was like, oh shit, there's commercials on a boxing match. On that, this is Netflix. Like, this is crazy, but it makes sense. And I know, like bro, like sports bars, bro. Like where I went last night, there was only one bar in like all of Hoboken playing the fight, and it's because they had to pay $4,500 to show the fight at the sports bar, yeah. So all the other sports bars are like, now we're watching college football. Fuck that. Thank you very much. And yeah, like Mad Hatter, shout out to Mad Hatter. They had the fight $4,500 to purchase the fight as a business. Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how they do, and it makes sense too. Because I remember when Tyson fought Jake Paul, there was I remember calling around after the guy had the show. Yeah. Shout out to my boy Guy. Guy had a show, and then we all were trying to find where the fight was at. And a lot of people was like, nah, we don't got it. That shit was like 7 bands. So they're like, nah, we ain't paying for that. Yeah, so that's the thing. But shout out to Netflix, man. This is bringing a lot of eyes and attention to the sport of boxing. And, yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next, man, because, hey, you can't keep ducking work. You know what I'm saying? Tank, I want to see something. I want to see Tank fight somebody who's close to his, you know what I'm saying?
That's my whole point. That's what I'm saying.
Isn't Errol Spence about Tank's size? They should be about the same weight class. They can fight. I want to see that. What up? Like, let's see something. Goddamn. But
it's going to have to be after the Jake Paul fight.
Yeah, right. You're not feeling this Jake Paul fight.
Listen, I'm gonna tune in. I'm watching it, but I don't think it's good for the sport of boxing. Yeah, it's bad for the sport. I think
they just care about bringing a hype around everything nowadays.
It's about money. Everything's about money.
That too.
That's what everything's about.
Yeah.
Just because that doesn't necessarily mean it's best for the sport, but it's about the money. I ain't mad at go get the bag. Go get the bag. But for the sport, I don't think it's good for the sport and the outlook of the sport. Yeah. And so, moving on.
Word.
So, did you see YNW Bortlen?
Oh, YNW
Did you see?
Bortlen. Yes.
He took a plea deal.
Took a plea deal. I think it was for like 10 years, right? And it would be like time served because he already did gave me 6 years. And I think he got 6 years
of probation.
Yep. So, listen, YNW Bortlen, they said as soon as he took this plea, it pretty much sealed Melly's fate. They're saying there's no way he didn't cooperate with Melly. Allegedly.
And then Bortlen made a statement, and his attorney made a statement saying that he's not really telling on Melly. That I don't. They were talking about something, but I don't even understand how that even quantifies and makes sense.
If there's anything with 2 bodies involved, and I dropped them off at the hospital, and I'm doing 6 years time served, I told for sure. I ain't gonna lie.
He's facing life. He's facing multiple lives.
Yes, of course. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you were just, they don't know what happened. They just know it was you and your man was in his car and 2 dead people was in the back seat. They know that for a fact.
That is a fact.
And you got 6 years. Nigga, you told. You told him exactly what happened. He shot him. I drove him. I panicked. I ain't know what to do. I drove him to the hospital. He shot him. I don't know why he did that. He got out the car and ran. I don't know. But there's no way you didn't tell. Because if you didn't say shit, both of y'all be facing them bodies. Yeah. They wouldn't be able to tell you what happened in that car. No. Only way you're going to not get them life sentences and get a 6 years time served is because you told them what happened in that car.
And
there's only one thing you could have said. He did it.
And that's the thing. The reason why there was a hung jury in the first Melly trial is because they couldn't. There was no murder weapon.
Right.
They couldn't pinpoint when exactly the murder took place.
Yeah.
So those were the things that were really tripping up the jury. Apparently, and other stuff as well.
I've always found it really weird. You have to go find the weapon. Not always.
Yeah.
But
why? What do you mean? How can you prove? What do you mean? How can you tie this person to this gun if you don't have the weapon? How can you prove that? You know he was shot with a gun. How can you tie that gun to me? How can you do that? You need the murder weapon is everything. I feel like.
I mean, I feel like if I got y'all on camera getting in a car and then you driving somewhere, all y'all cell phones is together, and then you stop in the middle of nowhere, and then your phone goes another direction. These 3 phones go that direction, and then we show up to where you got stopped at. There's a bunch of glass, shell cases, all this shit. I could assume you probably shot them niggas in that car. It could have been a random car on the driveway, in the highway, pulled up, and sprayed the shit, but then there was bullets in the motherfucking car. They just didn't have the guns. I'm just saying the gun itself, like how important is the gun itself if there's so much shit that says, okay, it's the only way this could have happened.
And that's the difference between circumstantial evidence and the real evidence. You know, it has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. It's been the same thing since the beginning.
No,
once you have you can obviously. I'm not saying there haven't been convictions with circumstantial evidence, but when you have the murder weapon, that's like the grand voyage. Like
it is and it isn't at the same time because there's people who beat it with the weapon being found.
I mean, of course.
Yeah, of course. So I don't know. It gets tricky, but all I know is, listen, Melly, if you did it, I don't know what to tell you, gang. If you did it, then it is what it is. But if you didn't, which I'm gonna be honest with you, bro, he did that shit. I ain't gonna lie. I never thought he didn't do that shit.
I feel like in reality, let's be real for a second. Like,
let's be real.
Obviously nobody was there, but let's say he did do it. You know, but these were his brothers. You feel me?
He has both their names tatted on his face before they died.
Yeah, Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Yeah,
he got their names tatted on his face.
Yes.
So I feel like he had to have found out something. Like they was backdooring him, extortion, like that. Like those was your apparently allegedly those are your brothers. So I feel like something had to have happened in that car. Yeah. He had to found some information because nobody's just telling me like that. Like I forget
too. He was like 19, 20 when this happened.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like now he's a grown ass man. Now he's like 27 years old.
Yeah,
dreadlocks to the floor. So it's like, man, it's crazy to see how this happened. But I mean, it's sad because he was a dope talent. But you know, they're saying also too. They say I think it's Drew Finley. Dirk's lawyer is about to go handle that case. And I ain't gonna lie, you get Drew Finley on your case, that's gonna help. But I don't know, man. I don't know.
And apparently,
I've heard stories of $1 million lawyers literally been telling their clients like, "Yo, don't even hire me, bro. Nothing I could do for you."
Yeah.
They'll look at the case, read the evidence, be like, "Yo, you gonna waste your money, bro."
Yeah.
But you gonna give me $1 million to get found guilty. I ain't even gonna lie.
And not only that, that's also your brand as well.
Exactly right. Exactly. It's like I'm not gonna take a case I know I'm gonna lose. There's nothing I can do for you. The most I'm gonna be able to do to you is not get you a death penalty, maybe. Besides that, then you gone. You're done.
It's literally about the brand.
Yeah, the winning percentage is crazy. We need that.
Oh yeah.
I can't have a motherfucker got 2 life sentences and got a death penalty under my belt.
They got you on camera, gang. I ain't nothing I can do. I can't doctor that. Yeah. I can't fix this. Yeah. I can't litigate this. It's over, fam.
There's no way to work a deal out of this. None of that shit. Especially you got your man's telling it's over. Like, leave this shit alone. It's over, bro.
But
you did it. You fucking did it. There's no sadness. There's nothing bad about this shit. It's just the reality is you did it.
So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. We gotta talk about the elephant in the room because I know you're excited to talk about it.
Wait.
Go ahead. Talk to me.
I wanted since we talking about everybody talent and stuff. You see Young Thug.
Oh my God, we gotta talk about YSL again. Listen,
I
am fucking done with
YSL is crazy.
Bro, my son Thug really dropped a fucking apology song.
Like 7 minutes long.
He's fucking blown,
bro.
I'm gonna be honest with you,
he's smoking mine.
Yeah, bro. He's apologizing to Drake, to Future, to Gunna. He ends it by making sure he stills dissing Yak Gotti and a bunch of everybody else. Like, bro, come on, bro. Just give it the fuck up. He apologized to his shorty for one verse. Like, come on, bro.
Apparently, Baby, Thug, Mariah not answering his calls. Like they not jacking him.
He like Savage. Come on, answer the phone.
And
please.
And all he's doing is
I taught you everything you know.
It's straight gaslighting. Straight gaslighting.
Bro, you talking about
playing victim.
You know, you my brother. Let's talk about the conversations we didn't get. Come on, bro. Shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear that shit. We don't want to hear that shit. I'm trying to tell you something.
But I feel like we're talking about 2 different things here, and they both apply. We're talking about not even the interrogation video. We're talking about the jail phone calls where you talking crazy about all your friends. You feel me? Like those are two different things at play here. Two different things.
Yeah.
Wait, two different things at play here.
Yep.
And combined, it's just not looking good.
Yeah, it's a combination of you've been fucking running your mouth about what, like, but you know, it is what it is.
What are you? I want to know your reaction, and are you excited for the album?
I am excited to hear the album just because, like, I'm still musically a super fan of Young Thug, no matter what. And I know I'll get over how I feel about him. Not because he's a snitch. Don't get me wrong. I don't give a fuck about that. I just feel the type of way because he acting like a bitch ass thing.
Yes.
I kind of find out he has bitch ass ways, and that shit bothers me. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to hear the music. I actually didn't even hear this apology song. I watched Trap Lord Ross do a breakdown of it.
I heard it.
I didn't actually hear, but I heard it was a good song.
It was alright.
I heard it was cool. So I'm excited to see what Thug gonna say. But I mean, truthfully, bro, like Atlanta's in a hellhole right now. My peoples in Atlanta just told me that, listen, allegedly, the free band Rico is on the way. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. Listen, Future's been associated himself and standing right next to some of the streetest people in Atlanta. It's not a joke. Yeah. You can't say I sell that dog food like I'm Rollo, and Rollo's right next to you, and really goes to jail for $1 million of marijuana, and he was on Blad talking about, yeah, I'm Mr. Dog Food where I'm from. It's bad. It's a bad look. Then you got motherfucking his other man's Casino. They say like it's just bad. Pee Wee Longway, somebody he been around. He goes down for $300 million worth of drugs. Like Atlanta's they're not playing. There's a bunch of violence been going on, a bunch of other shit. I forgot who Future other man's too that he always talks about. But it's not looking good. They're saying Baby been ducking this Rico that's on the way. 21 Savage and them is ducking. Like it's weird, bro. It's weird shit going on.
I feel like the listen. I like a lot of Atlanta artists, but I feel like 21 Savage is one of the only ones that really has sense.
He backed the fuck up.
Like who's actually 21 Savage is smart. Like feel me?
He's also from London, so
if
he puts on the accent, he definitely sounds smarter than most of us.
But like I did want to shout him out because when the jail tape leaked with him and Thug talking, and he was talking about he wanted to come out with a track dissing Gunna, and he wanted 21 to be on it. And I feel like everybody needs a friend like 21. 21 said, "Wow, like, can I be honest?" And he keep it 100 with him. He said, "Yo, your brother took that plea. Like, you feel me? Like, what? Like."
He said that in the video.
When you talk about Unfuk, he was like, yeah, but he was like, didn't you tell Unfuk to take the plea? Like he was basically saying like you're going crazy on Gunna. He said, I'm with you either way. I'm on the song. You my brother, but he basically read him.
Yeah.
And I feel like, especially people like Young Thug or people who are thrust into the limelight, thrust into being at the pinnacle of your career with a lot of yes men around you, I think everyone needs a friend like 21 Savage who's yes, I'm your brother. If you need me, I'm there. But let me tell you about my opinion. You might not like it, but you got to hear it. I want to know what your thoughts on what I have to say about the situation. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't have real people around
them. That's real.
That's real. That's real talk.
Now you're right though. That's very real, and that's commendable for sure. Yeah, you gotta let motherfuckers know about themselves sometime. Like, all right, listen, that's just cool and all, but yeah, you bugging.
You bugging out. Like I'm with you either way. But you bugging out. Now let's break it down and look at what happened, and let me tell you where I'm coming from. Right? You might not like it, but you have to hear it. Mm-hmm. But guess what? A lot of people around I'm not even saying Young Thug, but anybody who's thrust in the spotlight, like I said, are yes men. Yeah. They'll do whatever they say, and they're just there along for the ride. Whatever, yes. So
I ain't gonna lie, this has been one hell of a fucking promo run for Thug. I'll tell you that much for this album. This has been a lot of attention. Maybe not the attention he wanted, for sure, not the attention he wanted, but nonetheless, a lot of attention. So a lot of eyeballs on anything involving Young Thug.
I'm glad you said that because there's been a group of women who have been coming to his defense and everything, and they love how he's showing his feelings and everything. So there's a group of the internet who's for Young Thug and how vulnerable he's been and everything.
Yeah, nah, he's blowing my
he's blowing my tip blow, yo.
And he keep popping out with side titties showing like that shit. Bro, I'm like, bro, he got to get back skinny. He got to go back to doing Molly or something, bro. Side titty Thug is insane. That was not on my bingo card. I expect to ever see Young Thug with a side titty.
But listen, like you said, Young Thug, he's one of my favorite artists. But All this, he did all this to himself.
Absolutely.
All this to himself.
Down to the getting involved in crime, down to the everything being involved with idiots.
He's not a victim in any of this.
No.
I will say this.
And
he's trying to play victim.
And a lot of the reason why I'm always like, man, I don't even want to talk about this shit no more. Like, fuck this. Is that? It's like, bro, this is all self-inflicted. Gang.
All self-inflicted.
I can't feel bad for you.
No.
Like, you did all of this dumb shit. And Thug's like, he's like a couple years older than us. You're a grown-ass man, dog.
Yes.
Like, come on, son. You've been rich for a long time at this point.
Yes.
You've been rich on 7, 8, 6 years. Like, you're good. Like, you could have been disassociated yourself. But as a lot of us do, you know what I'm saying, we want to be tied into the hood, and it's part of our street rep and all this other good stuff. And, you know, there's people like 50 Cent, I think, really need to be examined in how they handled disassociating themselves from the hood. The second they realize, like, oh, we on.
Yes.
Like, this ain't no play around. We got Reebok shoe deals, Gatorade, vitamin, whatever.
Yeah, yes.
We not about to play.
We not
all
on
y'all
that.
hood niggas fall back. If you don't pick up a microphone, you don't rap, back the fuck up. Thug want to walk around with Pee Wee Roscoe and Woody and Yak Gotti and motherfuckers who is the shooter, and you know that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna catch federal RICOs, and you see people like I said, like 50, who backed up and never had any of that. You see Chief Keef, another one.
Yes.
He said, "Yo, these my 3 real best friends. Both of these niggas my cousins anyway. Come on, let's go. Let's go to Cali." Never went back to Chicago.
And
never thought about it. Never flew none of these niggas out. It was over after that.
And then on the other side, you see somebody like Fetty Wap, who when he was on, he fed the whole hood. The entire there's stories that he spent so much money on all these people.
Facts.
And when that money disappeared, they disappeared with him. They disappeared as well.
Yep.
And then now he's in prison on fentanyl charges.
Yeah, selling drugs.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And that's one of them self-inflicted things, though. No matter how you look at it, bro, you're a diamond selling artist. You're a diamond selling artist, yeah. And why are you doing this and that? But, you know, everybody got to live with their decisions. You know what I'm saying? Grown-ass men, once again. I ain't going to tell you nothing. Listen, you do the time, come home, fuck it. Start over. You good. You paid your debt to society, whatever it was. You paid your dues. I'm looking forward. I mean, this is off topic. I'm looking forward to see what Fetty does when he comes home too. Because generally speaking, I got to meet him a couple times. He's a well-hearted dude.
Yeah.
Very, very. What's the word I want to use? He's very relatable too. Like when you talk to him, I haven't talked to him forever, but I remember watching him rise and like seeing him stay very, very the same, just hood dude. Like chicken wings and a black and mild and the I-8. Like that's just who he is. Like you can't take that out of him. You know, so sometimes you can sell some fentanyl even if you make millions of dollars.
I want to end with this about this topic. I feel like when you see artists go to prison and there's still a lot of hype around them while they're in prison and they end up with a lot of hype when they get out, I feel like Young Thug is one of the ones that had the greatest downfall.
Oh, for sure. This needs to be studied.
They had the greatest downfall from...
Bruh. We thought Bobby Shmurda.
That was the next name I was about to name. Yeah. I was like, the next one we talking about is Bobby Shmurda, but that wasn't even like, it wasn't even the same. It's not even on the same level.
Yeah, my son really fumbled the ball. Like even YFN Lucci, he came out the gates running. Like day 2, he dropped a song with a video with all this other shit, hopping in and out the Maybachs, all that shit. But I'm excited because we do need his Thug music. I ain't gonna lie. Pour your heart out, Thug. Do some crying, do whatever. Because when Thug get in his emotional bag, bro, he goes crazy.
Yo, Jeffrey was unbelievable.
Unbelievable
take, like unbelievable.
Yeah, and that Pink album he dropped, like that's probably I think that was like crazy. His like second to last latest project. That shit was so fire,
so crazy. What beautiful Thug girls went crazy, crazy.
Yeah,
like,
crazy. Yeah.
So in other news.
Yeah, in other news, we got to talk about, like I said, we got to talk about the real elephant in the room. Because I know you know so much more about this topic than I do. So let's get into it.
So, Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk. See, I was about to call him Christian Kirk. Glad I didn't say his name. Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk was murdered in front and doing a debate at a college campus. What do you, before I speak on this, I want to know what your initial thoughts are on everything.
I'm going to be 1,000 with you. You know, I'll be under a rock. So when I heard about this, I was like, who's Charlie Kirk? I'm like, why do I care? What happened? All I really know of it is that Charlie Kirk apparently had a lot of controversial and very racial opinion, like very racist opinions, and just like said a lot of crazy shit, especially against minorities. And for what I saw when it happened was an immediate uproar of people who were super pro Charlie Kirk that were saying like this is one of the greatest Americans, and then the other people that were like we're smoking on that Charlie Kirk, right? You know what I'm saying? And not to point no fingers, but I know a nigga in this room right now that was smoking at Charlie Kirk back when it happened. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, what's happening? You were one of the first people I saw on Instagram that said something. I was like, what? Who is this guy? But I barely did any research. But I mean, just seeing the clips and the TikToks and his little highlights, his little racist highlights, I'm like, this thing was putting up racial 30 points.
he was filling it up.
He was 60 pointers in the playoffs.
He was filling it up. He was putting Westbrook numbers.
He was just past at it with the racist shit. I haven't seen no shit like this.
He's putting up Wilt numbers.
Like, who is this guy? This guy's been here the whole time. And apparently he was only 31 years old.
Yeah.
And not to make light of the situation because I know I'm saying a lot of this shit with a funny tone, but my personal opinion, because I want you to really get into the topic, I didn't like to see the way people were so excited to celebrate his death, no matter how shitty of a person he was. Me personally, I don't want to celebrate death. Like, I don't think it's cool to celebrate people's death in any way. Unless it's like Hitler or something, then let's fuck it. I ain't gonna lie. He just said a lot of dumb shit. Unless he did some shit, I ain't really gonna just be like, yeah, fuck him, put him under the dirt. If it comes out, he was part of a clan and burnt the cross somebody's yard, fuck him. But you know what I'm saying? But if he just over there talking, you just a motherfucker talking. You know what I'm saying? To me, you're just like the crazy guy on the train. You mean nothing to me. But I want to hear your thoughts because I have a lot of more things to say, but I really want to hear you because I feel like I'm about to get a lot more educated in the next 10 minutes more than I was in the last 4 days of this whole thing.
So I will say this. There's a lot of people out here that talking about he died over his opinions. He died over talking. He died over politics.
Right.
And I want to differentiate the point between an opinion and hate speech. Those are two very different things, and they're trying to dilute and oversimplify hate speech.
Yeah.
And call it an opinion.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I also want to talk about influence. Now, influence is the ability to shape thoughts, actions, and development. Influence is being able to shape thoughts, actions, and development. And when you look at influence, and the most influential people in the history of this world never had to do any actions. Their influence was worth 1,000 times their individual actions. They didn't have to lift a finger.
That's true.
So when you talk about it, when you look at, let's talk about Charles Manson. Charles Manson technically didn't kill anybody.
That's a fact.
He didn't murder anybody. He was just so influential.
Yeah.
The most influential people in the world. We can talk about mob bosses. We can talk about gang leaders. We can talk about cartel leaders. We can talk about dictators.
Right.
No matter who has a lot of influence, a lot of times they don't really have to do anything. Trump didn't have to break glass on January 6th. He didn't have to bash the head in of a police officer on January 6th. He had the influence to do that himself. So I think we're talking about a man who has used hate speech to gain a mass amount of influence. And I think what's really evident about this entire situation is you see what his impact and his legacy and what that influence was directly after he died. Directly after he died, before anybody knew what happened about the murderer, what was going on. The trans community was being vilified. The international community was being vilified. The Muslim community was being vilified. The black community was being vilified. There were threats on HBCUs. HBCUs had to go into lockdown. Did you know that?
No.
After Charlie Kirk's death. Yeah. There was white supremacist rallies all across America. I saw one in New Hampshire where they came out of the U-Haul, masked up, white power. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking terrifying.
Only for it to come out that he died in front of a white audience. He died in front of a white audience with a white university. He died He died in front of a white audience at a white university at one of the most white states in this country, and he died by the hand of a white person.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
You want to talk about impact, is what I'm saying. Directly after he died, all these other people were being vilified for it. Black people, trans community.
Black people don't know who fuck Charlie Kirk was.
I'm saying, no, right. we don't.
I've never even heard of this motherfucker.
He's
never came across my screen. Never been familiar. I ain't never seen him on a flyer.
He is one of the.
Do no promotions for no parties. Nothing.
He's one of the most aggressive mouthpieces of the alt-right community, and also. I also want to say this. I do not condone his death. I do not condone his death. I don't feel no type of way about his death.
Yeah, but you're definitely not saying R.I.P.
but I will say this. We're talking about a man who said Martin Luther King was a horrible person. He was talking about a man who said that the civil rights bill was a mistake.
He said black people are better off in slavery. He said some of the wildest shit. And I was just like, this is laughable because what the fuck?
We're talking about a man who said that the emancipation of my ancestors shouldn't be celebrated, that Juneteenth shouldn't be a national holiday. So I will say this. Like I said, I don't feel no type of ways, but I don't think that you can police the reaction of the ones who are on the other end of his hate speech. I don't think you can police the reaction of his death, of the people that were affected by his hate speech.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I understood, like, because like I said, when it first happened, and the way I've seen the two polar opposite responses, I'm like, damn, people really hated this guy. Then I started seeing what he was saying and why people hated him. As people were like, oh, you feel bad for this guy who said this, and I'm like, God damn, but it's just something about the way people were championing his death. I just couldn't get with it. I'm like, this is creepy. I don't think it's just so wild that, like, it sounds crazy to say this, but Chief Keef really changed the world, son. He made it very normal to talk about dead people, bro. 15 years ago, that was so taboo. Nobody would touch that. Nobody would speak on the dead like that, ever. That was not a thing, bro. I feel like rap music literally influences. Not changing something too crazy, but it's like that was high key. Chief Keef talking about a young kid named Tuka. High key. That shit changed to the point where today somebody we don't like dies and we're literally talking about we're smoking him.
Yeah, that is true.
That's crazy. And that was like the most viral tweet of the day. We smoking that nigga. We smoking his pack. We don't give a fuck about Charlie Kirk. I'm like, yo, you don't even see this all came from a little neighborhood in Chicago. It's crazy to me.
And I will also say this. You would never try to police the reaction. If a high influential Nazi member died, you would never try to police the reaction of how the Jewish people reacted.
That's true.
Nobody would ever try to say you need to give your condolences. It's only the black folks. It's only the black folks. We're supposed to be sorrowful for the people who try to cause us pain or who try to the mouthpiece of the vilification.
Right. And they say his daughter was actually right there too. I think he has two daughters, and one of them was right there and witnessed that shit, which was crazy.
The only person I feel sorry for is kids.
Yo, bro.
Other than that, I don't feel no type of ways.
I'm not gonna lie to one thing I did see that I actually thought was pretty honorable, regardless of, like I said, stance and how people feel about anything. So Justin Jefferson reached out, the NFL superstar wide receiver. He reached out to the family and he promised to pay for funeral costs, college tuitions. He wants to cover the mortgage for like a lifetime, and he came out to do that. And I know you definitely are not feeling that, but I feel like Justin's of the mind probably where he didn't know enough of the situation or of this person, and maybe him being from Minnesota, which is probably like damn near the whitest state in the world.
He's not from Minnesota.
But he's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
He's from the Vikings. He plays for the Vikings. I feel like that had a lot to do with his reasoning to reach out and try to like make like a border of like, I don't give a fuck what this dude was saying. I don't give a fuck none of that. I feel like as a human, I got to do something positive for another human that I see their family just went through some of the most traumatic traumatic thing you could possibly go through, which is to get the father figure, the man of the house, get shot in front of the kid on national TV, and it becomes a worldwide spread thing. So I just want to say shout out to Justin Jefferson. Regardless of how I might feel, you might feel, I feel like that's an honorable thing to just say, I'm going to just be a good human no matter how much this person might have even hated me. Prior to him dying, he would have hated my guts just because of what I look like. But I don't give a fuck about that. I'm gonna be a bigger person and just say, here, I'm gonna random act of kindness. Sometimes you gotta do that to an enemy, and I think there's a message in that and a lesson in that. And I just want to say shout out to Justin Jefferson. And you've been shaking your head no this whole time I've been talking, which is hard for me to keep concentrating on what I'm saying.
I just vehemently
but I want to hear how mad you are at Justin Jefferson.
No, absolutely not.
Fuck the Vikings.
No, absolutely not. But I vehemently disagree about trying to bridge the gap with your enemies, and in general, and if you look at history, and I feel like that's part of the reason why we are in the position that we are in today. And nobody, like I said, no other group is expected to have so much forgiveness. Yeah. And Charlie Kirk is a person, if you're black and you are in a black face in a high place, whether it's a doctor, lawyer, judge, pilot, he would like he said about pilots. That's what I'm saying. He would automatically look at you and assume that you're not qualified for your position.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. He's racist.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying he's not. And I wanted to drop another bombshell in here. He also said that Palestine doesn't exist. There's no such thing as Palestine.
Fuck.
Also said there's no such thing as Palestine. Fuck. He also claimed
this guy's bad.
He also claimed that the horrible terrorist attacks that happened on October 7th in Hamas, that they were to blame for the tens of thousands of children dying.
Damn, yeah.
You know what that? Do you know what that is?
That's that influence, like you said. That's what I'm hearing. There's a lot of this influence. You're right. Sometimes you don't got to be the one to pull the trigger or do nothing. Just you talking that shit is going to form the opinions of other people. And it's a dangerous tool. That
is the definition of collective punishment. Collective punishment is a war crime.
Break that down.
Collective punishment. He said that Hamas is responsible for the tens of thousands of deaths of the Palestinian children. Palestinian children are not Hamas. Right. They're not the same thing.
Right.
So that's called collective punishment. Collective punishment is a war crime. Literally defined as a war crime. If you did something, if your group did something and they suffer for it, that is a war crime. They didn't do that, you did that. You're punishing them for the acts that you did. That's a war crime. Under the definition of the Geneva Convention, that's a war crime. Yes. So we're talking about somebody who's advocated for racism, bigotry, who's advocated for crimes against humanity, who's advocated for war crimes. But I'm about to bring this whole thing home. What the scariest thing is that this is a person that hides under the shield of being holy, that hides under the shield of Christianity. So put it like that. This is somebody who's vilified, who has so much hatred in his heart. His last words were gang violence. His last words. Last words are gang violence.
Literally?
Last words are gang violence.
He was in the middle of a debate.
Those are his last words. And not only that is somebody like Charlie Kirk, he speaks of people like a statistic, like they're not real. So he said gun violence is a necessary evil in order to protect the Second Amendment. And what happened? He was a victim of gun violence. Nobody ever thinks they're going to be actually a victim. That's what I'm saying. They want to talk about people like statistics. And then when something happens, everyone wants to freak out.
No, listen. I definitely understand what you're saying and not feeling what Justin Jefferson did, because that's what we were really talking about.
Correct.
And I just want to know, so you don't think there's any benefit or anything positive that comes from him doing that? Justin Jefferson specifically. Like, you're not feeling it whatsoever, I could tell.
Absolutely not.
You don't think there's anything positive that could have came from that?
Absolutely not.
Damn.
But that's his prerogative. I'm not gonna shame him for his prerogative, but I don't think that, like I said, we're the only ones that are supposed to forgive that type of person that literally created a whole platform off hate speech.
No, yeah, but you know what I think about it, like my perspective when I see stuff like that, I look at it like, you know how many people that might think a certain way about minorities will see that Justin Jefferson doing that and they'll be like, hold on, what? This dude with the diamond teeth and the diamond chains that I would walk across the street if I see him because I'm scared of him, he just did the most positive thing for somebody who was clearly against everything this guy looks like. And he still went. I feel like there's a positive there that'll overwhelm anybody with some sort of decency in their eyes will be like, there's something very human in this person. As much as I want to look at them like they're less than and this and that, like that's incredibly like.
You think powerful?
There's a message in there, and I think that is important. Like no matter how much I'm not sending Charlie Kirk family $1. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not sending $1. Yes, I feel bad that his daughter had to experience that, but I mean, like, your dad brought that upon himself for real. Like, and she's gonna understand that one day.
Like I said, I don't condone it. I don't condone it. But like I said, if you would never expect the Jewish people, expect them to give their, how dare you not give your condolences? And now you see a lot of people on the right who are trying to dox and cancel people. Now they're part of cancel culture. Now they don't like free speech. You see how it goes. Full 360. Now they don't like free speech. Now people can't when their tweets of hate speech is free speech. Now you don't like free speech.
Yeah,
and it's crazy. I see all these coons, bro. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It was what Justin Jefferson did cooning.
Yes.
Damn.
Absolutely.
Fuck Justin Jefferson.
Yes. I think so.
Fuck.
I think so. A lot. Yo, it's unbelievable.
Damn.
It's unbelievable. These are the same. If this was the 16th, 17th, 18th century, and a plantation owner keeled over unexpectedly, a lot of y'all would be kneeling at Master's feet, bawling your eyes out, talking about the fact that he had a family. That's exactly what would be going on. That's exactly what would be going on.
Damn.
Keeling over the fact, talking about he had a family, he was a father, he had a wife. That's exactly what would be going on.
But is that not human nature for us to have some type of empathy for people?
I don't think.
Regardless of,
I think it's a paradox. I think it creates a paradox. You cannot. I don't think you can be tolerable of the intolerant, because when you're tolerable of the intolerant, if they put in power, will oppress the tolerant. It's a paradox. You can't. It's a paradox.
Damn, that was deep.
It's literally a paradox. I'll put it this way. Let's say in nature. And this is not a 1-to-1 comparison. I don't want people to think this is a 1-to-1 comparison. I'm just run with me here.
Yeah.
In nature, if an invasive species enters into an ecosystem, that invasive species has to be eliminated. Right.
Fact.
There is no caring, because guess what? That invasive species will destroy that entire ecosystem. Damn. Guess what? When your body has cancerous cells, there's no middle ground with cancer. There is no middle ground.
Damn,
you cannot
spit right now.
You can't be
cooking right now. Damn.
But I'm saying you can't. When you're not buddy. There's no buddy. There's no buddy with cancerous cells. You're not gonna be in kumbaya singing because guess what?
So right.
Cancer will spread and destroy the entire body.
And it's not even. You know what I keep looking at it as? Almost. It's like I'm looking at it as a. Saying the way you're feeling is almost like I'm looking at it like you're being super pro-black, but this is being super pro-human.
That's what I'm saying.
This is dangerous to have in anybody.
That's what
It's not about him just speaking against one person. You're making other people feel like that's okay and that's cool, and you're leading that, and that's the influence.
That's the influence.
That's the real problem. You're not protecting just minorities. You got to protect the white people that's going to start believing that dumb shit. Because it's dangerous for human beings.
Charlie Kirk is just one cog in the machine. He's the one cog in the entire machine. Like I was talking about in an early episode. The difference between Nazi Germany at post World War II Germany and the difference between America here post slavery. The mindset of the people. For people who didn't see the episode, I'm going to go over real quick. So after World War II and the Nazis were defeated in Germany, Germans made it illegal to be a Nazi. All paraphernalia. Illegal.
Facts.
No tolerance policy. All the former Nazis had to flee. A lot of them fled to places like Argentina and stuff, right? Guess what? The people that were in the German army, they were charged for their war crimes. That's exactly how it was. America, post-slavery, We gave the slave owners back their plantations. We erected statues of war criminals. We named parks after war criminals. We named streets after war criminals.
Schools.
We made schools after Robert E. Lee. After
that minorities go to those
that's
schools.
what I'm saying.
And have to sit there and
we allowed the South to write their own narrative about racism, about slavery. That's the difference. You see how Germany stomped out and eradicated the idea of Nazism. We allowed the idea of racism to permeate in our society to where now it's shielded behind, my political difference. It's my opinion. Oh, you killed him over opinion. No. We're not just talking about opinion here. We're talking about hate speech. We've allowed hate speech to be part of regular everyday politics. That's the difference between us and Germany. Damn. That's what I'm talking about. We have to sever those ties. It needs to be frowned upon. It needs to be shunned upon. Like I said, I don't
need to get put into prison.
I don't condone.
It's basically what it has to be.
I don't condone the violence. I mean, the killing of Charlie Kirk. But I'm talking about the ideas have to be. It has to be to where it's part of the minority, not part of the majority other side. That is a whole other side issue. It needs to be part of minority, something that's stomped out. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. The ideology. You do not. When an invasive species enters an ecosystem, you are not, like I said, it has to be rooted out. You cannot be there.
I think, and now that I think about it, because everything you were just saying making a lot of sense, but I think the fact that, what was the First Amendment? The freedom of speech?
Yes,
the
correct.
First one? Right.
First Amendment, freedom of speech.
I feel like that right there is why America had to stand on, we can't eradicate these people. We can't tell them they're wrong. We can't do none of that, because our whole reason to come to this motherfucker is because we wasn't even allowed to talk back home. You say one thing about the Queen and your ass was getting picked up in a fucking black van and shipped over, not a black van, and a black horse and carriage or some shit.
Correct.
And we was going to take you out.
The reason why our country was founded was based off freedoms that wasn't going on. It was King George versus George Washington. But we're talking about the South that succeeded from America. They were not Americans. They did not consider themselves Americans. They rose on the flag of the Confederate flag. They were not Americans. They seceded from America. They didn't want to be part of America. They were traitors.
But the North was like, there's way too much money down there for you motherfuckers think y'all about to just split up. Fuck
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
We need that bread.
And
y'all
that's
got
why
tobacco and shit.
And that's why
we need that.
That's why Lincoln was not a
he wasn't as pro-black as he was pro-money.
He was not an abolitionist by design. He was an abolitionist by convenience.
Yeah.
It was about preserving the Union. He would have done whatever to preserve the Union. It was not a moral argument. It wasn't morally wrong to Abraham Lincoln. He said he would have freed one of them. He would have freed none of them. He would have freed all of them. Whatever it is to preserve the Union. It was about preserving the Union. They didn't care about the actual. They didn't care about
the morals and the mistreatment.
That's about that. That's the difference between.
We need that bread.
That's the difference between America.
We need that.
That's the difference between America and post-Nazi Germany. And the Germans got reparations. I mean, the Jewish people got reparations from Germany.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Those are the two differences.
Nah, that's really key to
so in conclusion, like I said, I do not condone his murder, but at the same time, I don't think that we should be able to police how people feel who were affected by his hate speech reacted to his murder. That's all I'm saying.
We definitely got to cut up a nice little snippet of that right there. That little piece right there. I think that's really important. The comparison of Nazi Germany and how they stomped it out. And the reason why the lingering on of leaving it alone and letting these people still stay.
We let them create their own narrative. Oh, it wasn't about slavery. It was about states' rights.
It created such a...
Before we get out of here, if you drop Charlie Kirk in any point in history, we know what side he would have been on. We know what side he'd have been on.
Oh yeah,
that's my point. Sure. That's my point. So, like I said, what Justin Jefferson did, yes, from a humanity standpoint, yes, it's bridging the gap. But at the same time, that's not something I would be for. So, especially somebody who's a multimillionaire.
I dig it. Oh, Charlie Kirk was already a multimillionaire?
What? You don't understand how big Charlie Kirk was, bro.
Yeah, I clearly don't. I mean, just because you racist. I mean, just because you in politics, to me, it don't make you rich.
No. He has his own Turning Point USA was his entire thing, bro. That's why they were so upset. Like they're trying to enshrine him. They're trying to compare him to MLK.
Whoa, let's not get carried away. He's also 31 years old. He's very young.
Yeah.
When I think about it, he's our age. Like that's
literally
insane
our
to
age.
me. But real quick before we get up out of here, I know we got a couple minutes. The Colorado school shooting. Did you read it? Did you hear all about that? Wasn't it the same day?
But that's my point. You have the New York Yankees We gave a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, but did they give a moment of silence to any of the kids who died in the school shootings?
Damn.
You know how many school shootings we have this year? We're so desensitized to it, but we're losing our minds over Charlie Kirk. Not saying, like I said, I don't condone his murder, but that's what I'm saying. We're so desensitized. Charlie Kirk said gun violence is a necessary evil to protect. Like these people, they speak in riddles. They don't speak in they speak in statistics. Like we're not dealing with real people. Yeah. And guess what? The gun violence found itself right at his jugular. Damn. At the end of the day,
quite literally.
No, but what I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't condone it, but I don't feel no type of ways about it either. So
yeah, nah, you're right though. It's hard. I'm not gonna say nothing against them, but I ain't even gonna say R.I.P. It is what it is.
And like
I say, you was to your demise. You brought yourself to your demise.
And like I said, he was able to wrap himself in the veil of Christianity.
Yeah,
and which being holy,
so much more dangerous. Yeah,
and that's and before we get out of here, we got 1 minute left. And before we get out of here, that draws parallels to the founding of this country, to why we have this country. I think that religious extremism has destroyed the entire planet.
Oh, for sure.
That's
religions.
Undeniable, yeah. No, all religions.
What do you think? From the beginning of time.
What do you
it's
think,
always been a thing.
What do you think manifest destiny is? Religious extremism.
Yep.
Plantation owners. Crimes against humanity, but they're justifying it with while at the same time being holy. Mm-hmm. Crimes against humanity. Yeah, these are the people supposed to be the most with God, the most holy people.
Listen, all I know is this presidency has been 9 months in, and this shit is getting crazy. Yeah. We done had multiple attempts on Trump's life. Charlie Kirk is dead. Young Thug that went to jail, came back, and told. Listen, Orlando, we gotta get him out of here.
Yeah, we gotta get up out of here. This is a Free Gems podcast.
68, Free Gems podcast.
Thank you, guys.
Just did his thing. I'm excited to cut up these clips, man.
Yes, sir.
We gonna be back next week.
We out of here.
Y'all. On that note, Merry Christmas. It's Football Sunday. Have a great one.